Hey guys, it's Julie with Julie's Designs. So this is a good old-fashioned thrift flip video where I'm going to take some random items that I found around my workshop or my house and upcycle them for resale, because as y'all know, I'm moving and everything has got to go. So let's just see what I find and what I turn it into. I purchased a set of 4 canisters from the thrift store for, I believe, about $10. They did have some glass lids on them, but I thought it looked really cheap with the lids, so I tossed them. But I thought the canisters would be so cute painted up. I want to use the baking soda mixture on here to add some texture, so I'm just using latex paint that I have and baking soda, and I'm using a 1-to-1 ratio. It just depends on the texture you want. So if you use half paint, half baking soda, it's going to be more textured. If you want it less textured, just add a little more paint. I've used latex paint, chalk paint, craft paint, and haven't had any issues with any of these types of paint. So I would just recommend using whatever you have on hand in the color that you desire. The great thing about this painting technique is it gives you like a faux ceramic stone look. So when you are painting a rounded surface, I highly recommend using a Lazy Susan so you can get your lines nice and even and round around your piece. And I also like using a chip brush, and that just adds extra texture. So you just want to kind of go around. I just kind of layer the first coat on, and then once I have some paint on my piece, I'll neatly go around with my paintbrush and turn the Lazy Susan. When you are not using your paint, make sure you cover it up, because this paint with the baking soda dries out very quickly and it'll get lumpy. So I make sure to cover it up when I'm not using it. Now you want to make sure your first coat is thoroughly dry before you put the second coat on. And I go much lighter with the second coat. You don't want to push too hard. And I'm just doing like I did with the first coat. I'm evening out my brush strokes by turning the Lazy Susan. But if you're not worried about having your brush strokes even, that doesn't matter. Or you can even stipple your paint on for even more added texture. When my paint was thoroughly dry, I sealed it just with this clear matte spray paint that I had on hand. I have this IOD Classic Pots transfer that I think would be so great on this canister set. It comes in a roll. So this is an older IOD transfer. The newer ones come in the sheets like I have been using on my previous videos. But look how cute. It comes with all these different labels, tons of type, really sweet images. So if you need something to just like add a little bit extra to your piece, this is the perfect transfer. I cannot wait to try this one out. I'm just going to cut out the transfers that I think will look good on each pot. And then you want to place it on your piece and see where you want to put it. Then you need to remove the white backing. And once the white backing is removed, wherever you place your transfer, that is where it's going to stay. So make sure you know that's exactly where you want to put it. Then you're going to take this little white transfer tool and you're just going to rub your transfer onto your surface. I did try applying this transfer before I sealed it, just because I wanted to see what happened if you didn't seal your piece, and the transfer actually pulled my paint up. So you definitely want to make sure when you're applying a transfer that you seal it first. And then I had no problem applying this transfer after it was sealed. As y'all can see, there's very small type on these transfers. And I used a textured paint and had zero issues with the transfer applying to the canister set once it was sealed. When you think you are done transferring the transfer onto your piece, you want to slowly peel up the plastic, making sure you didn't miss any spots. Because if you did, you can go ahead and put it back down and rub on that spot a little bit more and it'll come off. And then you just want to take your little plastic piece that the transfer came on and just rub it over the transfer just to make sure it had fully adhered to the piece. Now I want to age the canister set, so I'm going to take my Waverly antiquing wax and water mixture. It's up to you how dark or light you want it to be. If you want it to be lighter, then you just add more water. If you want it to be darker, then you add more antiquing wax. So it's just whatever look you are going for. And then you just take a paper towel and lightly wipe off the antiquing wax, and this will really bring out the brush strokes even more and give this piece a more aged look. Now you can stop right here, but I'm actually going to antique this piece a little bit more by applying some of the antiquing wax without water. I'm going to just get a little bit of antiquing wax on my brush. You don't want too much, and I'm going to put it at the top and the bottom of this piece. I'm kind of brush it on, stipple on, kind of blend it in there, and then you take your paper towel and just wipe it off a little. And you're just going to keep doing this till you get the effect that you want. So I want the top and the bottom to be more aged. And I just love the aged effect that I was able to achieve on this canister set. Y'all please let me know what y'all think about this painting technique and what y'all think about the transformation on this canister set. Do y'all remember this brown box from one of my haul videos? I paid $4 for it, and I actually didn't mind the faux wood texture on it, but it did have some stains and some issues. And I've had pieces like this in the past, and the easiest way to quickly update it and to hide the issues that this piece has is just to go ahead and add some white wax to it. So that's what I decided to do. Someone had sent me some DIY white wax, so I decided to go ahead and give it a try. Now, I'm used to using Waverly white wax, and this is very different. It's almost like a whipped cream consistency, and you do not need a lot. I put way too much on my brush. So this stuff, a very little bit goes a long way. So as you can see, I put way too much. I ended up having to wipe a lot of it off. But this was my first time using this particular DIY product. And it is also a very white wax if that is something you are looking for. As you can see, it's a true bright white. When I did this side, I used way less paint. I just dipped my paintbrush in a little bit, and a little bit of this product went a long way. I did almost this entire piece and only dipped my paintbrush in a little bit, I believe 2 times. And then once your piece is fully covered in white wax, you're going to take a paper towel and wipe off the excess. And what's going to happen is that the wax is going to stay in the low spots, and then you're going to wipe off the high spots, and that original color will come through. Also, the difference that I noticed between DIY wax and Waverly wax is Waverly wax I find dries a lot faster, whereas the DIY wax I find I had a lot more time to play with it. And as always, all the products that I used in today's video will be in the description below. So this is a really easy way to transform a piece that is wood and that you like, but it has a few issues that needs to be covered up. Just add either a little antiquing wax to it, or in this case we did white wax, and I just love the way this piece came out. This is going to be a really quick and easy project, but y'all know how I love to put feet on stuff. So when I was cleaning out my kitchen, I found these 4 galvanized chargers that I've been having for quite a few years, and they've rusted over time. So they're just like the perfect look now. And then I had this whole bag of wooden spools. So I decided to paint the spools using DIY White Swan. I'm going to be using the spools as legs, if you haven't figured that out. And I'm going to need 3 spools for each of the chargers. I'm going to paint them, and once they're dry, I'm going to lightly distress them with sandpaper. Since these are so small, it's easier just to kind of turn them on the sandpaper and just distress the edges. I'm going to attach the legs to the charger by using Gorilla Glue Clear Grip. You want to put it on and then let it dry for 24 hours before you mess with it again. I know that this didn't lift this up that much, and I kind of love that. Like, this would look great just to use it as a charger on a table setting, and then you'd be able to see a little bit of your table underneath, or just as a tray or any kind of decorative piece you need it in your kitchen or dining room. Alright guys, what did y'all think? Please leave a comment below and let me know what was your favorite item that I upcycled today. If you love this kind of stuff, thrift flips, house decorating, thrift store shopping, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I do these sorts of videos every single week. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all in the next video.
Thanks for watching, and give this video a big